these are my top 25 roller coasters in the world in 2023. And this list will eventually need an update. So, just this is my opinion. You get mad, whatever. I don't care. And yes, I am biased. Whatever. It's fine. Alright, let's move on to number 25 is Montuit, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This is the only B&M invert on this list, but this ride is great. This is my favorite B&M invert of all time. I just had a video come out, top 5 B&M inverts, but this is my top 25. You have your vertical loop, you have your Engelman, you have your 0G roll, and you have your insane batwing. This thing, the trim is probably a good thing, because this thing's insane. I mean, Afterburn's batwing is good, but like this one is like insane. Like it poops all over that one. I do give this to Afterburn though, because it has Afterburn doesn't have a mid course. That's my most ridden B&M invert, if you didn't know. Alright, moving on to number 24. Number 24 is Phonix at Far Up Summerland in Denmark. So this is a Vekoma Wildcat model, if I'm not mistaken. This is not the only roller coaster I have from Europe. I have a couple more actually. This is it's only a little over 100 feet, but this is a great ride. Your drop is pretty short, but it's good. You have this Sidewinder or Engelman. You have this hill up into this helix, and then you have a Heartline roll, a double down, and then you have a station flyby through a 0G roll. You have a couple airtime hills, and you have some bank turns into the brakes. Number 23 is Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England in Massachusetts. This is really one of the best RMCs. This thing is in a very tiny plot of land, and it packs in this much in just that little tiny bit of area. It's where Flashback is, and the bad and Goliath. Well, Goliath's gone, so that's a good thing. They said it was gonna get relocated, and I looked at it, and I was like, yeah, I think it's gonna get relocated. It's all in pieces. It's all broken up. Yeah, no, it's not. All right, and moving on, we have Storm Chaser for number 22. This is my favorite RMC that's little. The really little ones. This is not including Twisted Timbers. Okay, no. This is one of my favorite RMCs. Favorite roller coaster in the park. I take this over Lightning Run. Just by a little bit. But the elements are great. It's super whippy. The 0G roll is great. The Trick Track double up's great. The whole ride's great. Alright, number 21 is Legend at Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. This is, if not the best CCI. I mean, you got Raven in the same park. Raven's not on this list. It's probably my number 26th, actually. But this it has the weirdest layout. It goes through the water park, but this thing is just great. Yeah, does it get overshadowed by Voyage and it gets overshadowed by Voyage a lot. But I mean, this thing's great for what CCI was able to do. This is a great roller coaster, and this helix right here goes on forever. All right, moving on to number 20. Number 20 is Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. This is probably my favorite RMC that's under 130 feet. So it is actually great. I prefer this over a lot of RMCs. Untamed is not on this list. I did not put it on this list but it is really good. You have this. The POV is not really doing it because this was shot early in the morning. I'm pretty sure, but I rode this really in the evening. This thing flies, flying. All right, moving on to number 19 is Air Force One at Fun Spot Atlanta. This is a great ride. This thing is new for 2023. I can't get over the fact that it's at Fun Spot Atlanta. Like, I never even heard of this place until Air Force was announced. Like, that's so weird. I mean, whatever. But this thing, I ain't complaining. This thing, great. The arcade roll is actually my favorite part. Alright, moving on to number 18, I'm pretty sure. We have Wildcat's Revenge at Hershey Park. This thing is, this is hard to decide between Air Force, and Wildcat, but I say I take Wildcat over this. The only something I do like better is the arcade roll, but this is a better night ride because this is not on the side of a highway, so, and it's also not on a bunch of midways, so that's something better about this. Alright, moving on to number 7, Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. I love this thing. This is my third favorite RMC. I've ridden this a lot. This thing is great. I've ridden it I've been to Silver Dollar City 3 times since 2020. I think it was February of 2022. One in February, and then a couple more. This thing, great. The final barrel roll finale is great. Moving on to number 16. Okay, number 16 is Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain. This is a great ride. I do like, this is my favorite flying coaster. This thing's insane. That pretzel loop, the rest of it, it's just nice and graceful. But that pretzel loop is insane. It's actually crazy. Like, that, because you're feeling all these G-forces and you're like shaking, and it's like and you're like shaking, and it's like, and you're feeling all those G-forces, you feel like you're gonna die. Like, it is actually insane. It's crazy. This thing, insane. Like, it's a 124 foot tall pretzel loop. It looks like a hyper pretzel loop, literally. This thing is insane. Like, I can't say any more good things about this. Alright, moving on to number 15. We have Prowler at Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, Missouri. This is my third favorite GCI. My fourth favorite's Texas Stingray. It's not on this list, but it's probably number 27. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna really, okay. All right, this ride experience is great. It's an out and back. It's just like Mystic Timbers. I say this is a better night ride. Sorry. And also, I'm staying out of that. But this thing is great. It goes out in the woods. It's so fun. Like, I wish I could just ride this every day. I'm gonna go probably in July because, like, I just want to go back and ride this thing. It's great. All right, moving on to number 14 is Lightning Rod at Dollywood. Lightning Rod currently is going with its lift hill. I got my final ride on it on October 8th. Not October 8th. August 28th. No, August 21st. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. It was August 21st was my last ride I got on this. The park closed around at 6. I got it at 5, somewhere from 5:30 to 5:50. This thing great. That quad down is the best element on a roller coaster. And the launch is probably the funnest part. Alright, moving on to number 13 is Thunderhead at Dollywood. Another ride at Dollywood. I think Thunderhead's better than Lightning Rod. Sorry, I just think that. You can say what you want. Whatever. But I say this is better. But this thing is running like it did on opening year is what people are saying. This thing used to be rough. I didn't ride it when it was rough, but this thing, flying. This thing is great. It's so fun. The night rides on this are so good. You have a station flyby, and it's just so good. Like, I want to go back to Dollywood so bad. Not right now in the winter, but, like, whatever. Alright, moving on to number 12, which is Left Coaster at Legendia in Poland. This is in the weirdest park. This is a Vekoma. I don't remember what the model is, but this thing is better than. This is a great roller coaster. This is in my top 12. Alright, this thing is insane. It's so fast. It's twisted turns. This thing's great. Like, it's half of it's over the water. It's so pretty. This thing's just great. Alright, number 11 is X222. Is everybody in? The ceremony's about to begin. X222. Alright, this thing's insane. If you ride this thing on the first drop, in the back row, on the back right, on that first drop, that thing's insane. I scream every time, and I know what's gonna happen, but I just scream. I can't help it. It's insane. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's so crazy. It's like, it's just insane. This thing is insane. This is my number 11th roller coaster. And that's probably for a good reason. Yeah, does it give me trauma? Yeah, but moving on to number 10 is I-305 at King's Dominion. This thing is insane. I blacked out on this thing. And I shouldn't have been riding it. I was dehydrated. It was like 90 degrees out. I shouldn't have been riding it. It was in the middle of July of this year. And I was so dehydrated. I was slumped over on my shoulder. This thing should not. Like, this thing is insane. It actually should not be real. It's so good that it shouldn't exist. That says something. Like, this thing is insane. Alright, moving on to number 9 is Ravine Flyer 2. This is a great roller coaster. This is a mini Voyage. It's mini Voyage. This thing is flying the whole time. This thing is fly. This thing, the elements are great. The tunnels are great. And it goes over a road. That's kind of weird. But it goes over a road. and it goes in these tunnels. And this thing feels like it flies faster in these tunnels for some reason. It's just to prevent noise, but I don't know. This thing flies. Alright, moving on to number 8, sorry. But this is Maverick at Cedar Point. This thing is insane. This is I-305, but a little better. I wasn't sure where to put these two. This thing is great. It's only 105 feet tall, but that doesn't mean much. This thing's insane. The height, no one really pays attention to. It's always the transitions and this hill. And the first time I ever experienced this, I was like, how are these transitions are gonna feel? Because at the time I hadn't ridden I-305 yet. So this thing is so just fast, whippy. It goes straight through all the elements. It's always flying. This thing, I have so much good things to say about it. It's great. The second launch is great. This thing, great. It's so good. Alright, moving on to number 7. We have Mystic Timbers at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. This is actually the best GCI, not the best wood coaster. We're getting there. And I forgot to put El Toro on this list. Are you kidding me? I forgot about El Toro. Don't yell at me. But if I had to put it, I'm going to switch it out with I'm going to switch it out with I don't know. Actually, whatever. It'll go in a different video, but this thing is great. You go through all these elements and then enter the shed. It should be fine if there's not a screen and a couple of lights. It should be fine. Whatever. Alright, moving on to number 6. We have the roller coaster that is at my home park, my most ridden roller coaster. I have 397 rides on this thing. I've been riding it since 2021. This is insane. This thing is crazy. This is my favorite Giga. I've done almost all the Gigas, except I still need Steel Dragon and Red Force. But all the other ones are done. I've done Millennium Force, Intimidator 305, Fury, Leviathan, and Orion. That's not a Giga coaster. Alright, but this thing is insane. It's so fast. You go, and this is my favorite roller coaster. This is one of my favorite steel coasters. This is like insane. This thing, if you ride this thing at night, you're going like 97, 98, maybe even 100 miles an hour if it's that hot out. This thing flies so fast. And I know everybody, when you bring up Fury, they're like, oh, the crack. Yeah, but like that's probably due to heat. I don't think it was due to maintenance. I think it was due to heat. Running that thing every day in that North Carolina weather, or the Carolina weather. Charlotte weather is the most unpredictable weather. Alright, moving on to number, I think it's 5. Is Sky Rush at Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. This is my favorite. This might be my favorite Intamin. I forgot Velocicoaster too. How am I doing this? What? Okay, whatever. It'll go in a different video then. This thing is great. This thing, if you ride this at night, like, the drop feels like you just got hit by a car, like in every possible way. It's just so weird. I mean, I watched this POV and it looks like it's gonna valley right before it hits the brakes. All right, moving on to number 4. Is Voyage at Holiday World. This is my favorite wooden roller coaster on the planet. This thing is insane. This thing is insane. This is the best night ride on the planet, if not on Earth. Wait. If not in the whole world, if not the whole country. My favorite part is the first airtime hill in the back Piscetti Bowl. That is my favorite part. I mean, you only see those 2 camelbacks and a little bit of the return track, but everything past that tunnel right there is what stays in those woods. Is what's in those woods is stays in those woods. This is the back Piscetti Bowl. This thing probably goes, in terms of acreage, probably about 8 acres from the station all the way to the back, probably. I'm not sure exactly, but it's probably about right. This thing is insane. I've ridden this at night at Hollywood Nights without the trims, and this thing is insane without the trims. Like, how does this thing exist? Like, I don't know. And this third drop right here is so giant right there. I don't know. And it's all downhill, I'm pretty sure. Or it's all downhill to the station from the mid-course. So, I don't know how it brings all that speed back up. It's insane. Alright, moving on to number 3 is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. This thing, you cannot change my mind. The best roller coaster that is in the north. That's in the US. But we'll get to the top 2. This, I couldn't decide how. I don't know. This thing is great. This is my favorite second favorite roller coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction. The only thing I don't like is it feels repetitive after the mid-course. It's more like what mid-course? But you can kind of tell they're going for a record because it's just it's all airtime hill. Like, I get that, but like it's like, yeah, let me off now. I'm sorry. I don't know. Whatever. Alright, moving on to number 2. We have Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa. This is the best roller coaster in the U.S. This is my favorite roller coaster. This is the best roller coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction. Again, just my opinion, but I say this is the best roller coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction. This thing is insane. This thing actually, I passed out on this thing once. Like, I was so dehydrated. Like, I drink a lot at amusement parks. I drink a lot of water. But, like, it's just, when you're running around a theme park all day in the hot Florida sun, it's crazy. So, the death roll's my favorite part of Iron Gwazi. Actually, no. My favorite part is the wave turn over the station. That's my second favorite part. There's no dead space on this ride whatsoever. Alright, moving on to number 1, which is Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland, Japan. This thing is actually crazy. I went to Plopsaland a couple months ago. This is crazy. This thing is insane. You launch up, you go into your top hat, which is twisted a little bit. Then you go into your banana roll. My favorite part of this ride is the onboard audio. You go through your loop, and then and then you go into your 0G roll under your top hat, and then you go over a log ride. Then you hit your second launch. This second launch hits hard. Then you go into whatever this thing is. And then you fly into your overbank, into your into your into your brakes. That is my number one. Thank you for watching this video. This is my top 25. Thank you for the POVs, everybody, Coaster Force, and a couple of parks. Please don't sue me. All right, see you in the next video. More from Coaster stuff will be soon.